The gentleman asked me about MLK and said, of course, he was a great leader who brought people together, unifying force. Who is the next, or what will be the next great event? I'm paraphrasing, obviously, what he said. Look, there's not going to be another great leader like MLK. The reason there's not going to be another great leader like MLK is because the circumstances are different. We don't have Jim Crowe anymore. We don't have back of the bus anymore. We don't have laws that forbid blacks and whites from getting married, which we had until 1967. We don't have a denial of individuals the right to go to a school when they're qualified to get into. It is an entirely different situation now. And that is my frustration with people like Jesse Jackson, who played a role. He was a lieutenant of MLK. They had some friction between the two of them, as you heard Alveda King say the other day when I had her on. But he was a young acolyte of MLK. And the man acts like things are just the same. After Trayvon Martin, after George Zimmerman was acquitted in the Trayvon Martin case, Jesse Jackson said, "Blacks are under attack," end of quote. Are you smoking something? It's an entirely different situation now. The civil rights war has been won. The troops ought to be converted to civilian duty. I think I told you this story before. Stop me if I did. Okay, nobody stopped me, so I'm going to tell it. I'm in Cleveland, and I was a member of a private club. I think I was the second black member of that club, and most of the wait staff was black, including the guy who was the pool room attendant. Now, I'm not a very good pool player, but I used to like to play, and he tried to improve my game. I never got very good, but we became friendly. And one day, we're walking out of the building together, and this is when Jesse Jackson was running for president. I can't remember whether it was the 88 race or the 84 race. He ran both times, but it happened one of those times. I think it was the second time he ran. And we're walking out of the building together, and he turns to me, and by the way, the man was as old as my father. He always called me Mr. Elder. I called him by his first name, which were the rules of the club. It always felt a little awkward, but we're walking out, and he said, "Mr. Elder, what do you think about the chances of our Jesse Jackson becoming president?" Now, because of the way he said our Jesse Jackson, I just assumed that he was a pro-Jackson guy, and I'm concerned about my relationship with him. I don't want to ruin it. You can ruin a relationship over politics, but I also don't want to lie. So I said to him, "Well, I just don't think he's qualified." And he said, "Me neither. He's in the we shall overcome business. And you know what, Mr. Elder? We done overcome." And that's why there won't be some leader like MLK, because there isn't an issue like that. Blacks are not denied our civil rights. The Fourth Amendment is not ignored anymore. There are more black elected officials per capita in the South than anywhere else in the country. I think every single one of our major cities has had a black mayor. New York has had one, Chicago's had one, LA's had one, Houston's had one, Philadelphia's had one. We've had a Democrat governor from Virginia, one of the states of the Confederacy. We're crying out loud. Oh, did I mention the black president? Re-elected? Riddle me this. How does somebody like Al Sharpton, who has espoused hateful views about whites, about Jews, about the country, how does somebody like that become a multimillionaire enough to get $4 or $5 million light in taxes? How does that happen in a racist country? Wouldn't you think that'd be the first guy you'd get? The last guy you'd get would be somebody like O.J. Simpson, who lived a, quote, white life? Wouldn't that be the last guy you would get? Wouldn't somebody like Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Farrakhan, wouldn't all these multimillionaires be the first guys you get? But they're all multimillionaires built upon rhetoric about hating America in a country that provides them the greatest opportunities any other country on the world. Wouldn't they be the first guys you'd get? The man? I'm Larry Elder.